Welcome back to Playground Sessions YouTube channel. Here we are for another song lesson. I'm going to break down a song section, and this one was voted on by the members of our Facebook community. So if you guys want to vote on some of the tutorials that I post here on YouTube, click the link in this video's description to join the Facebook group. But in today's video, we're going to be looking at All My Loving by the Beatles. And I'll be showing you guys the chorus from our intermediate level arrangement. And that sounds like this. 1, 2, set, go. All right, 100%. So if you guys are following along in your interactive apps at home, by the end of this video, you're gonna have all the tools you need to get 100% on this section on your own. And if you're not following along in the app, let me tell you briefly that we're doing a 30-day free trial. You gotta tap this card above to learn more. You can get the app for free. You could try all the corners, all the avenues that the app has to offer, and there's a ton. We got video lessons by Harry Connick Jr. and more. We got all kinds of songs in all difficulty levels. So I'll let you check it out on your own, but there's a free trial going on you gotta take advantage of. But we got some work to do in this video as well, right? So let's get started. I'm gonna break down the right hand for you first. Our key signature shows 4 sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So all 4 of those notes are automatically sharp when we see them in the music. That tells us we're in the key of E major, by the way. 4 sharps. Our time signature is 4/4, 4 beats per measure, also known as common time. All right, let's talk notes and hand positions. We're gonna start with not a C, but a C sharp. Don't forget the key signature. The C sharp an octave and a half step above middle C, which is right here. So we're starting here on C sharp. Thumb, or one finger, on not G, but G sharp. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're tying it over. Then we play the same note again, but this time with our third finger, and that's so we can shift our position down. We'll tie that over the measure. And then 2 finger on F sharp, 1 on E. Then we have 2/8 notes, F sharp, B, and then 3, our third finger, plays G sharp in the next measure. So once again, that first phrase goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Now we hold this G sharp for the whole measure. The next measure we rest, and we're gonna get our pinky up to an E, a high E. This is kind of the same position we started in. We'll play E, we'll play D sharp with our fourth finger, and then on the next line down, you see we're starting the same way we did in the first phrase. 3 on C sharp, 1 on G sharp. Again, we'll play another G sharp, but this time with our third finger. Tie it over to the next measure, 2 on F sharp, another F sharp, 2 E's tied over. This last measure does have a bit of syncopated rhythms, right? We're playing on the upbeats or the weak beats. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and, right? That can be kind of tricky, so take your time with that measure. But that's it. We have a measure of rest to close out this section, and that's all there is to it. So I'm going to cue up our backing track now so we can practice these rhythms in time, but let's do it at a slow speed to start. Once we do it at that kind of medium tempo, then we'll speed it up to full speed. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and switch. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Rest, move up. Switch, and, 4, and rest. All right, 100% at the slow speed, way to go. Again, don't be in a hurry if you need extra practice at that speed. But now, when you're ready, let's go ahead and kick it up to full tempo. 1, 2, set, go. Yes, we did it. 100% for the right hand. Good work, everyone. So now let's switch gears and get the left hand in the mix. Here we go. There are only 3 different chords in this section. Now there are 8 measures, so some of these chords have to repeat, right? We have a 3-chord progression, and then that progression repeats itself for the second half. So let me show you these chords. Our first one is C sharp minor over E. That's what the chord symbol says. So let's build that chord. E, G sharp, C sharp on top. Root position C sharp minor looks like this, with the C sharp, or the root, on the bottom. But here we have it over E, or first inversion. So we're bringing that C sharp up an octave. Now our next chord symbol looks kind of weird. C plus sign over E. Plus sign is kind of a shorthand way of saying augmented. And augmented is the term we use when the 5th of a chord is sharped. Okay, now what does that mean? Well, let's break it down. Let's analyze it. C plus, you could say, is C augmented, or C with a sharp 5, over E. We'll worry about the over E in just a second. C with a sharp 5. Well, here's C major, root position. Root, 3rd, 5th. If we sharp the 5th, we would have this, and this is a C augmented. All right, now what if we inverted this chord? So instead of a C being on the bottom, we have an E on the bottom. That, my friends, is a C augmented over E. C plus over E. And notice, the chord before was only 1 half step different. Our top note was on a C sharp in the first measure. Next measure, all we're doing is we're putting a natural symbol on that C sharp, and we're bringing our thumb down a half step. That's it. These 2 notes stay the same. And in the next measure, we're repeating that pattern. We're keeping that pattern going of taking our top note and moving it down by a half step. Next chord is E major. See that? The bottom 2 notes stay the same. The top note just moving down by half steps. And the next measure is another E chord. So there are our first 4 measures of this section, and there's only 3 different chords, and really, each one you're just moving your thumb down a half step. Here's our first one, here's our second one, here's our third one. Next line down, we see the same exact pattern. C sharp minor over E, C augmented over E, E major. And then the final measure, we just play a quarter note on E major. We rest for the remainder of that measure instead of holding it out. And when we bring in the backing track to play along with, you'll see why we're doing it that way. You'll see why we want to rest at the end of that measure. But otherwise, the second half is the exact same as the first half, right? Let's try playing this. Let's do it first at our slow tempo, then we'll speed it up to full speed. 1, 2, set, go. Look ahead and reset. All right, there we go, 100%. And did you notice at the end there, the whole band in the backing track cut out after beat 1. And the remainder of that final measure, you just heard the bass line and the guitar play boom, 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 but the rest of the band cut out. So our role here is kind of a part of the rhythm section, or the band. The drums and the low bass, and here the piano as well, we're the rhythm section. We all drop out after beat 1. We leave the guitar to play that little pickup line. Pretty cool, right? All right, when you're ready now, let's try to speed this up to full tempo. And listen for that ending once more when we get there. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, guys, way to go so far. We've got 100% on our right hand alone. Now we've got 100% on the left hand alone. We're in our final stage here in this video. We just got to put the hands together. So we're almost there. We've done a lot so far. We're in the home stretch. Don't forget, let me remind you one more time about a free trial we're doing for our interactive app. The app is super cool and it's got a ton of tools and features that make learning the piano really fun and easy. and convenient too. You can clock in anytime. It's like having an on-demand teacher that grades you as you play, that you can just hit up at any moment, right? You can wake up in the middle of the night and play and get real-time feedback. It's pretty great. I'll let you check it out. Tap that card above that says, "What are you waiting for?" if you haven't opened it up at this point. All right, but open it in a new tab because, like I said, we still have a little work to do here on this section in this video. You can finish this song in the app with that real-time feedback, but first let's put this chorus together, hands together. You guys ready? We'll do this at our slow tempo first, but before we even hit play with our backing track, I just want to say that I encourage you to actually pause this video and try putting the hands together with no timing at all. So literally just walk through each beat and figure out whether the hands are playing together or they're playing separately. When they take turns, like they do on the downbeat of the second measure. I'm not worried about how long it's taking me to get from one beat to the next or whether I'm playing with even timing, right? That's important to do to teach your hands the coordination part of this, especially because the tempo is pretty fast on this. So do that first. When you've done that a few times and you kind of know what's going on between the hands, then it's time to try this at our slow tempo along with the backing track. And so I'm assuming you guys have done that now and you're now ready to try that. So let's go ahead and hit it, hands together, slow tempo. 1, 2, set, go. All right, 100% at the slow speed. That feels good, right? We're almost there. So when you're ready, let's speed this thing up, and then you can finish this song out in the interactive app. Here we go, full tempo. 1, 2, set, go. All right, guys. 100% across the board. We nailed this section. Don't forget, we have this same song in different difficulty levels in our app. We also have a ton of other songs by the Beatles, a ton of other songs by bands similar to the Beatles, also very different from the Beatles. We got everything in the app. I encourage you guys to check it out, especially because we're doing that free trial. In the meantime, I'm Phil. I love teaching you guys how to play sections of songs here on YouTube, so I can't wait to see you for the next video. I'll see you then.
The features you saw on screen today can be at your fingertips with the Playground Sessions app. Co-created by music legend Quincy Jones, Playground teaches the piano with interactive feedback and gaming features, all while using your favorite songs. Alright guys, I'm Phil. Hit subscribe so I can see you for the next video.